Those two aren't the only new champions in WWE. Yes, Seth is wearing Intercontinental gold.
Seth Rollins continues to compete on a white-hot streak. Rolling through SummerSlam, and he's back in Brooklyn again with his buddy.
Boy, this crowd has come unglued. Tonight, the roles are reversed. But how cool is it to have Dean Ambrose back and ready physically to go?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, accompanied by the new Intercontinental Champion, Seth Rollins. From Cincinnati, Ohio, weighing 225 pounds, Dean Ambrose.
For the first time in 8 months, Ambrose is back in action. He meets Dolph Ziggler. Next. Champions, the mobile game. Download now with the code LITTLEBIG for a free Alexa Bliss. Plus, vote for your favorite mixed match dream team. Pretty much a dream team in the ring right now. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. Ambrose, however, in one-on-one action. His first match in 8 months.
His opponent, residing in Hollywood, Florida, weighing 218 pounds, Dolph Ziggler.
Boy, it is clear the effect not having the title around his waist is having on Dolph Ziggler here tonight. That is very evident.
He may not have the title, but he's got backup. And the huge Drew McIntyre. It was last night at SummerSlam here at Barclays Center, live on the WWE Network, where Dolph Ziggler was defending the Intercontinental Championship versus Seth Rollins. Now, we knew that Dolph was going to have Drew in his corner. Well, Seth had some backup as well in Dean Ambrose.
It was a grueling matchup full of breathtaking moments. But as it would come to a close, the familiar sight of McIntyre attempting to interfere would be thwarted by the lunatic fringe and a dirty deeds to the outside, which allowed Seth Rollins to stomp his way to another Intercontinental Championship reign.
Yeah, it's always nice to have friends around, but friends that you can trust Corey 100%. Well, that's even nicer. You saw how much more confident Seth Rollins was last night with Dean Ambrose in his corner.
Dean Ambrose is a man who's seen some things in life that'll make it hard to smile. But for all his flaws, all of his faults, all of his vices, Dean Ambrose is as loyal as any man walking the earth.
I am anxious to see what kind of shape Dean Ambrose is in ring-wise, Michael.
It was last December where Dean Ambrose in a 6-man tag team match tore his triceps tendon in his right arm. He had to have surgery to repair it. This is his first match back. And Dolph Ziggler, with his amateur style and his amateur background, looking to neutralize Ambrose.
Interesting strategy by Ambrose out of the gate. For as experienced as Dean is between the ropes, trying to mat wrestle Dolph Ziggler isn't something too many people have success with.
Well, you know, Dean Ambrose doesn't talk too much. He's not on social media. You won't see him tweeting. But I did ask him earlier today, what should we expect? And Ambrose was very vague. He only said, you're going to see a different Dean Ambrose.
Clearly, he didn't just sit around during his rehab. He got in the gym. He looks great. He looks bigger. And even his style, at least for the first minute or two, has changed as well.
And it's got Dolph a bit out of sorts here in the early going.
I wonder what sort of mental condition Dolph Ziggler's in after losing his coveted Intercontinental Championship last night. We know the show-off prided himself on wearing the gold and competing at a high level. Dolph needs to get back on the horse if possible tonight. What better way to do it than a victory over fresh Dean Ambrose?
When that is your nickname, you've got to get it done on the biggest stages. SummerSlam.
Oh, look at Ambrose.
Interesting takedown. Ambrose out wrestling the Kent State Wrestling Hall of Famer.
Well, I'm not sure that Dolph Ziggler prepared for this Dean Ambrose.
You don't know that. Dean Ambrose could have completely changed his game. It's been almost 9 months since we've seen him inside of a WWE ring.
Well, the only video
he's still got a hot head.
All Dolph could do is watch old video.
And Ziggler now with right hands to Ambrose. Ambrose blocks it. Dean with a chop, knocking Dolph down to the mat.
Just like Ambrose obviously spent time improving his conditioning, his physique. He's obviously got a few tricks up in his sleeve, but he's never afraid to just throw hands.
And the one thing that hasn't changed is his intensity when he's inside the ring.
Rake of the nose, I believe, that time by Ziggler. Had that tremendous rivalry with Rollins, which of course Seth won last night to win his second Intercontinental title cover by Dean and a kick out.
You know, guys, we talked earlier about keeping an eye on the condition of the different superstars who were in competition last night. Nobody had a more grueling match than Dolph Ziggler.
I mean, you could argue that his opponent, Seth Rollins, that he was in the ring the entire time with, had just as grueling of a matchup.
Okay, but he's not working right now.
And look at big shoulder tackle by Ambrose. Down goes Ziggler. Dolph quickly back to his feet, went for the hip toss, blocked by Dean. And now the power game by Ambrose with a slam. And already I'm seeing, look at McIntyre grabbing the leg of the lunatic fringe.
Look at this.
And again, the temper of Ambrose and Seth.
I take it back. Seth Rollins is doing his job.
Oh, boom! Oh, and a drop kick! Ziggler took advantage. Dolph's back in control. Live on Raw. We are back live on Monday Night Raw. Dolph Ziggler is now picking apart Dean Ambrose. And again, his buddy Drew McIntyre helped Dolph out before the break.
McIntyre grabbing Ambrose's ankle, creating a distraction that would draw Dean out to the outside. But once Dean would attempt to get back in the ring after Rollins calmed the situation, wham! Picture perfect drop kick from Ziggler.
Yeah, Dolph made it clear that it was his time, and he has dominated Dean Ambrose the last several minutes.
What are you gonna do, huh? What are you gonna do? Come on, idiots.
The cockiness of Ziggler coming out. Oh, it's made him pay. And another vicious clothesline by Ambrose.
Nearly took Dolph's head clean off his shoulders. It's never a good idea to agitate Ambrose.
Yeah, it's good to see that losing his title, whoa, hasn't stopped Dolph from talking.
Knee to the midsection by Ziggler. Two former world champs battling it out in this match tonight. Ambrose's first action since back in December.
Well, Michael, I know you said that Dean's not one for a lot of words or social media or telling us his feelings, but I'd be anxious to find out exactly what his goals are. What do you hope?
Look at Dolph using the ropes for leverage, but Ambrose able to kick out.
Ziggler from behind looking for a zigzag.
Ambrose hangs on. Dean again.
The
power game of Ambrose tonight. Impressive with a fall-away slam. Almost a completely new repertoire from Ambrose.
Ambrose obviously hasn't spent most of his time sitting on the couch sipping whiskey. He's been in the gym, been training to improve, trying to recapture glory past. Maybe another WWE championship, maybe the Universal title someday.
Any great athlete, any great team, and they have a so-called off-season, they always have to add something to their repertoire, add something to their game. And that's exactly what Dean Ambrose has done.
Hanging Ambrose up top rope, went for the super kick blocked by Ambrose. Nice takedown by Dean. And Ambrose launching Ziggler into the corner off the post. Posted though, shoulder first, goes Ambrose.
Dean's got to be aware of the Scottish psychopath stalking just a few feet away.
Back up, man. Back up. Mind your business, all right?
When we talk about... Drew's had enough.
I dare you. I dare you to hit me. Watch what happens.
Rollins let him have it. And now Seth and Drew going at it outside the ring.
Rollins never afraid to back down.
Ziggler gets in the fray and from behind takes out Seth. And now the double team on the Intercontinental Champion as Rollins is driven into the barricade.
Holding nothing back.
Oh, neither is Ambrose, who went after McIntyre. And now he goes after Ziggler. This matchup continues. Ambrose and Dolph. McIntyre up by the apron. Look at Dolph going to try to take advantage. Kick right to the knee. Famous time. Ambrose ducked underneath. He's got a position. But for dirty deeds. Dolph slipped out of it. Super kick blocked.
What is Seth doing?
Rollins suicide dive.
Well, that question was answered.
Dean Ambrose. What a counter. Into dirty deeds. Ambrose did in his first action since December. He's completely changed his in-ring game.
I don't think you need to explain or tell anybody how impressed you are, because the entire WWE Universe, as long as your eyes work and just witness what happened, are impressed with Dean Ambrose.
I think many of us thought maybe his emotions would get the best of him, but that was just the opposite. Not only did he use his emotions to his benefit, but his new game.
Look at this. As Rollins was driven into the barricade, Dean Ambrose would fly from out of nowhere to take over. But that wasn't the last we'd seen of Rollins.
Dolph was looking for the super kick. The architect would devise another way to neutralize the psychopath. And take a look at this. The power, the improved power game of Ambrose, allowing a boom, dirty deeds in the center of the ring. Now it's time for whiskey on the couch if you're Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre, he's been telling everybody the locker room's on notice. Guess what, boys? Dean Ambrose just put the locker room on notice.
Hey, you know what? It's good to have friends, isn't it?
Especially when they're crazy like a fox.
I am telling you right now, neither of you are special. It is both of your jobs. If you do this, you wipe that smirk off your face, okay? You're on your third strike.
After an epic accident last night at SummerSlam, Elias looks to redeem himself live.